Algebra 2. Welcome back here. We are going to continue on with our polynomial unit and talk about 5.3, which is polynomial functions. Again, there's nothing really changing here. I mean, we've been dealing with polynomial equations, what all that means. Now we're just going to talk about polynomial functions, which are still equations. We just use different notation and usually have some type of meaning behind them. Excuse me. So, here I give you a quick example because we did talk about this, but I want to make sure we nail this down as far as we can. But polynomials are written in standard form with the values of the exponents are in descending order. So x to the third, x squared, x to the first, and here's my constant, so x to the 0. Something that we need to talk about also, in this cubic polynomial with 4 terms, we refer to 3. So this has 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I want to stress that this 3 we're talking about is the one right here. Not the one in the back, the one in the front. But we refer to that as the leading coefficient of this polynomial function. Alright? So, leading coefficient, or the coefficient of the first term of a polynomial with one variable in standard form. It is called the leading coefficient. Alright? So here, is this in standard form? Let's try a couple real quick. I got x to the 5th and x to the 3rd, x squared, x, and 0. The 0, the constant term. So the leading coefficient, yes, this is in standard form. That means the leading coefficient's right here. So my leading coefficient, and we can put coef here, is 8. Alright, next one. Alright, is it in standard form? Is the polynomial written in standard form? Is it, a polynomial function? It has more than one variable. Okay. Therefore, it kind of violates what we're looking for with polynomial functions in standard form, because it does not just have one variable. This y here, so no, it's not in standard form. Okay, and this is with functions. Cannot write standard form. Okay, so no, it's not in standard form. It's because that extra variable right there, y. Alright, next one. Let's look through. We got x, 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 so everything's same variable, no problems there. Is it in standard form? 4, 3, 8, nope. No, it is not. That's got to be out front. So negative 4x to the 8th plus 3x to the 4th plus 6x cubed plus 2x. That's in standard form. Now, our leading coefficient is much easier to identify here, and it's negative 4. Alright, so not too much there. Hopefully not too confused. And let's move on to number 2, or the second type of problems we're going to run into. We'll run into little word problems, but usually these word problems will actually give you a polynomial to work through. You just got to remember what the variables are standing for that they're giving you. Okay? That's going to be the biggest problem here. Okay? So what are we talking about here? We're talking about a polynomial function is a continuous function that describes that can be described by a polynomial equation in one variable. So here, polynomial. I'm going to write slanted to give myself some space. Polynomial function. Okay. Alright, polynomial function. That's what this is, and you can tell, I mean, the big difference right here, right off the bat, we got function notation, v of t, okay? And here, we got negative 0.037 t cubed and plus 0.152 t squared plus 0.173 t. Oh, excuse me. I'm yawning here, I apologize. This function represents the volume of air in liters in the lung during a 5-second respiratory cycle. All right. If you want to find out how much air was in the lungs at a certain time during this respiratory cycle, you would just plug in that time. So, for instance, the example I use is 2 seconds. 2 seconds into the 5-second respiratory cycle, how much air is in the lungs? All right. Well, what we do is we go ahead and plug in 2, just like you see, via 2. 2 is in for t, where t is represented by time. And then just solve. Now you can do this a couple of different ways. The easiest way is actually going to be just to use Desmos, and that's what I'm actually doing right now, just plugging in 0.037. Oh, forgot to back out my previous entry. I apologize. 0.037 times 2 cubed, which is 8, plus 0.152 times 2 squared, which is 4, plus 0.173 times 2 to the first, which is just 2. Okay, then hit enter on that, and you should end up with 1.25 liters as your answer. So there's the volume of the air in your lungs is 1.25 liters, or 1 1/4 liters. Alright, that's pretty much it for stuff that we need to do in the beginning. There's a couple more things. Well, one real big thing that we need to talk about. We'll talk about that in class. Make sure you're ready for a quiz tomorrow. Tomorrow being Friday, we will have a quiz mainly over 5-1. Okay, all that stuff that we talked about and went over at the beginning of class on block day. Alright guys, I'll see you later.